Hi, welcome back. This is KrazyBatLady. I wanted to talk to you today about the new event in Genshin Impact called Labyrinth Warriors, which is kind of a dungeon crawler type of thing, where you beat enemies, you get buffs, you go through floors, dungeons, and it's actually pretty fun. I've actually mentioned something really similar to this as an idea not that long ago, and I'm pretty happy to see something like this implemented. I really hope that it leads to something more like a permanent game mode, but I'll talk more about that later in the video. Let's take a look at the mechanics. The first thing you do is you pick your Shikifukus, which are basically just buffs that you can use, which you get 3 of, and you can use them all 3 times. You can also get charms, use them more. Like this one, for instance, is a giant Bennett buff. And then you can throw a Bennett buff on top of it and deal a crap load of damage. And the enemy isn't shielding you. But this one of ice damage, I just don't see from Eula, so that's kind of weird. I didn't get to finish my ult there. And here's basically a pocket venti effect with a huge swirl. It's like 63,000 swirl damage. This isn't too bad. So you pick your team of 4, and then you have basically backup that you can change at the curative rooms / healing rooms if you figure out you just want a different elemental reaction team, or your characters are low on health, etc, etc. Now, as for the gameplay, you run through these dungeons and you collect chests. Make sure to collect all the chests in there, because those are always good to have. And always check the shiny spots as well, because those contain the damaged replicas, and that's what you need to upgrade your buffs. And you see this little paper guy floating around with you. I hope that that is a... well, I hope that he's a pet at some point, since he's, you know, already animated to fly around with you. And there's also these cursed seals that will have some nasty effects. You can see them. I walked over that one so you can see, it's just this ominous looking plate on the floor. It's kind of obvious, but some can be worse than others. So in these rooms, you basically just kill enemies and you get a charm at the end. Pretty straightforward. See there, I got a buff for actually more damage from barrels, which is pretty insane, if I do say so. Go. And when choosing buffs, there's a lot to choose from, but I definitely recommend choosing the gold buffs, because those are typically the best. Well, that's pretty good. And aside from those rooms, you can also pick up these little things that give you buffs, such as speed boost, attack boost, and there's little arrows that shoot out of the wall, so watch out for those. Now, this room is just a straight up draw charm room, and this is an awesome charm. This actually randomly gives you constellations for your characters. The first thing I did when I got this was I tried to see if I could put out 2 Zhongli pillars. I was like, wait, does this really work? And yeah, it's the only time I've seen a buff like this. It's really cool. And I also got Constellation on Hu Tao, so I can just spam her charge attack, which is really nice, and definitely sealed the deal on me wanting to get her first Constellation. Here's those little buffs look like. Oh yeah, there's electric floors too. The shiny spots, and there can be vegetables, which is pretty annoying. I don't think this counts towards your daily shiny spots. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, as I went on an artifact route after doing this, and it was fine. But let me know in the comments if it's not. Now in the question mark room, you pick a buff, but it will also set off some debuffs or curses. There's the healing room where you can switch up your party from like the support units you chose at the start, if you need to. And then there's the treasure rooms. Make sure to check every inch of the treasure room, because there's a lot of shinies, and therefore the damaged replicas, and also some chests that contain a bunch of Mora and other goodies you might want. And there's also some weird achievements here for like breaking a lot of stuff. Now you can look at your map and see what kind of room all the rooms are that you've gotten close by, and it'll show you in a corner. And then once you get to the end, there's a boss room. Now, being that this is the first day of the event, bosses are pretty easy. Just kind of melted through them. But I'm sure that the other ones will get a little bit harder. And I'm thinking on the last day, it's going to be some form of endless mode or something. I'll show you when we get to that point. And then you go out the portal after you beat the boss, and that's that. You get your event currency, and you can spend your damaged replicas here to upgrade the buffs you get. I want to get this one so that I can get more of the rare buffs, such as the Constellation one, because that's just a really nice one to have. But yeah, there's a lot here to choose from, and some of them actually don't unlock until a few days from now. That is one thing I will say about this event that really annoys me, is I wanted to play more, but I can't. Like, I have to wait 3 days until I can do the next floor, and then 3 days after that, 3 days after that. That gets really annoying, you know? And, here you can get the buffs for different progression stuff. Like breaking objects, setting off, barrels. A lot of random things on here to get Primo Gems and typical event stuff. So that's pretty nice. And then there's also a floor bonus for getting the max amount of event currency that I can't remember the name of. And now here's what makes me think there might be an endless mode, is because this one doesn't have a max amount. And it doesn't say anything on it. But we'll have to see what that is. I just don't know. I'm hoping for that, but I don't know. And these ones don't unlock yet, so it might be tied to that as well. So all the Primo Gems and stuff are, and you can buy a Crown of Insight from the first day, which is what I did, because I really need those. And yeah, they're all time-gated, and this one is almost like 9 days to find out, but I'll be sure to post something on that. Now, this has made me think of the Elysian Realm in Genshin Impact, because before this was a permanent game mode, it was an event, and it came around, I believe 3, maybe more time, I think 3 or 4 times before they actually added it as a permanent event. And I was thinking, maybe, this is just a hard maybe, just my own speculation, that perhaps Labyrinth Warriors is a test to see if about adding a permanent game mode, because this would add just such a nice thing to the game, some form of end game dungeon crawler mode. It could be like a weekly shop or something. And yeah, you know, this is just pure speculation, but I do think that would be a really nice thing to have, because a lot of players like me have been playing since the start. There begins to be less and less to do besides the Spiral Abyss. And once you beat the Spiral Abyss, then you have to wait the 2 weeks for the next Spiral Abyss. You probably know what I'm talking about if you're AR 56 or so. Yeah, anyways, in the Elysian Realm, you do a similar thing where you go floor to floor and you battle enemies, you get buffs, and you can upgrade said buffs. And as it's a permanent event, you can take your time with it, which is really nice. And there's also your weekly missions in this too, which is cool. So yeah, I really, really hope that they do add something like this for something more for players to do, you know? Like, I know that they add more islands and there's events and stuff, but I personally really want to see something that's not time-gated. I want to see like some permanent content. I feel like this would appeal to newer and older players alike. So hopefully my speculation is right. You know, only time will tell. Let me know what you think in the comments, if you think that this might return in a permanent form or come back in general, what you think of it at all. I really like it. I think it's a fun event. I just want more of it. So Anyways, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more Genshin Impact content, Shankai, other stuff too. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye.